Clarity of desire is so much more important than you may realize. Clarity of desire. Desire not laced with doubt. If you have a desire that you've been desiring for a while and you want it to come to full fruition where you can enjoy it fully, and it hasn't come about, then it's hard not to notice that it hasn't come about. But if you get too carried away in that observation of what is missing, then your vibration may be so full of what's missing that it can't come. This is a universe that's based upon attraction, and you get what you think about whether you want it or not. So if you're thinking about something that you don't want, then something that you do want can't come instead. And sometimes you can't find a good feeling thought for the life of you. Sometimes it feels like your thoughts are thinking you, because your mind is just full of thoughts that you don't want to be there, but you can't change the subject sometimes. And that's because law of attraction is managing things. And if you've got a vibration going, and it really doesn't matter why, and it's about things not going well for you, then that is your vibrational output, which means that is your vibrational point of attraction, which means even from your own thoughts, you can't find good ones. It's not just that it feels like the universe is beating up on you. It's not only that it feels like people around you aren't being all that nice. It's that you yourself are beating up on yourself with your own thoughts that don't feel good. But you can gradually improve that. You can think more good feeling thoughts today than you did yesterday, and your point of attraction will improve. And the next day more still, and your point of attraction will improve, because law of attraction will help you on the momentum of the improved thinking, and law of attraction will help you on the momentum of the not good feeling thoughts. The law of attraction is not biased about whether you should be thinking or whether you shouldn't be thinking a thought. The law of attraction just yields to you more of the thoughts that you are thinking. And so if you can catch your thoughts in the early subtle stages of each day, and the reason we say of each day is because while you are sleeping, the momentum of your thoughts does subside because your active attention to them isn't happening. And so that doesn't mean that tomorrow you won't wake up and remember today or yesterday, because you undoubtedly will. There will be things that will remind you, and it's easy to return both to the things that you like to think about and the things you don't like to think about. Now, if you could launch a new thought and not contradict it with the reality that you are currently living, if you could have a desire and have it be absent of doubt, then you'd begin to get momentum right away. And because of this momentum right away, you would come to know the powerful being that you really are, because things are always working out for you, and you're supposed to get what you want. And when life shows you what you want and you begin momentum in that direction, if you weren't countering it with other thoughts, the momentum, because of law of attraction, would take care of itself. And you know, the thoughts that are most in opposition to your new desires, very simple, are your awareness of what is. If you could just trust more that when you launch it, the universe is after it, that your inner being is after it, that source is helping you, then maybe you could relax a little bit and just understand that things are working out for you and that universal forces are assisting you. But since you seem to be having a hard time understanding that, we have come into your experience in order to explain to you how the laws of the universe work. And more important, who you are in this universe, on this leading edge. You are creators out here on the leading edge of thought, where thought turns to things. And we want you to feel with us, if you can, a little bit, the importance of you here now. We mean in this body, in this personality, in this time and space. And so it matters that you're here. You came with great intent. So here you are. You came from non-physical, and some of you acknowledge that. We would like you to have a clearer understanding of how the non-physical meshes with the physical, and how important the physical is to the non-physical, as the non-physical is important to the physical. We would like you to understand that we really are all one, with the potential of blending more than most physical humans allow, because of the thoughts that they are thinking. The larger part of you, the energy from which you have come and the energy to which you will return, is still present and active with you. Sometimes you refer to that as your soul. Sometimes you refer to that as your guardian angels. Sometimes you call that God. It doesn't matter what the label is, but it is important that you understand the existence of that source energy part of you. Well, that source energy part of you gets what you think about too. So in all moments that you are conscious and in this physical body, awake and focused, you are calling a point of attraction to you, but your inner being is also calling a point of attraction to the non-physical part of you. So there are two points of attraction, you might say, that it is to your advantage to blend. The non-physical you is focused upon your furthermost evolution. When you know what you don't want and you ask for more, that more is immediately integrated into that non-physical awareness, and that more money, or that more love, or that more appreciation, or that more clarity, that more whatever it is that your life has caused you to ask for, is being lived now by that non-physical part of you. And law of attraction is responding to that new, evolved you. That non-physical you that happened because the physical you had a leading edge experience and asked for more. This is what the evolution of all species is about. So that non-physical you is now standing in this more expanded place, and law of attraction is responding to you in that more expanded place. And the difference between you over here in your physical body and you over here in your non-physical beingness is that in your non-physical beingness, you don't contradict your own desire. When you're thinking a thought in your physical body that harmonizes with the knowing of your inner being, the emotion that you feel is one of love or elation or passion or satisfaction or interest or clarity. But when you're thinking a thought that is opposing what your inner being source you knows, then you feel agitation or dis-ease. You feel uneasiness, or you feel overwhelmment, or you feel blame or guilt or anger or fear or some negative emotion. And so every emotion that you feel, first of all, is happening in the now, and we want you to know that the now of you in your physical body and the now of you in your non-physical realm is the same now, because your inner being is not thinking about where you used to be or where you're going. Your non-physical being is focused on you right here, right now. This is where the leading edge is. This is where all the power of creation is. There has always been a now, and the now has always been powerful. But what most humans don't know about this now is that this now out here on this leading edge is where all that is non-physical is focused too. But the tricky thing is, tricky seeming to you, it's perfectly logical to us, because we understand that vibration precedes all things that are manifested. It's been that way from the beginning of time. In other words, there's got to be a thought, and the thought has to get some momentum going before the thought has enough attraction power to start manifesting into a way that it can be seen more fully through physical senses. Doesn't that seem logical? That a full manifestation is just a more evolved, longer thought about manifestation. If you want something different than what is, you've got to offer a vibration that's different than what is. You can't get something different if you're just talking about what is. And we want you to know that there where your inner being is really current time. It's current tense. And what's manifested in your experience is old news, because it took some time for everything that you are living to turn from thoughts to things. So by the time you're looking at it, it's old news. And so your inner being is the real time. And you, while you can't see it real time, you can sense it. You can sense it. You can feel it. You have emotions that let you feel it. You can feel secure even if you don't have enough money right now in your bank. Cooperative components are gathering, and there is a beautiful life that is being lived by your inner being vibrationally, and your inner being is calling you to it, calling you, and depending on how much resistance is there, that determines how fun it is as you get called along your path. If you have no resistance, magic is happening everywhere around you. It's like you barely speak that you want something, and the universe says, here it is, and you say, thank you very much, now I'd like that. That really is the way it can be for you. Your inner being will never stop calling you this way. When you begin to accept that law of attraction is real and that your guidance system is real also, when you accept that and you start really taking note of how you feel and you make some attempt at thinking more and more thoughts that feel better and better to you, so you are offering less and less resistance, then you begin to get movement. And when you begin to get movement, so that those thoughts that you have set into motion are allowed by you to turn into things. So rather than arguing in a limited way that it's just not fair that you're not getting something and somebody else is, stop if you can looking at the manifestation and begin to evaluate just for a little while what you're doing vibrationally. Because what you will begin to notice is that those that are thriving on whatever subject of desire it is that you are witnessing are thriving because their mood or their attitude or their opinion about it is something that is working for them. You cannot work against yourself, even by noticing what is, if what is isn't what you want to be, without limiting yourself. And that slowdown doesn't feel good to you. Doesn't feel good to you because of the energy drain of contradicted energy. It doesn't feel good because of the lack of clarity that you are providing for yourself, the clarity that you are not allowing yourself to experience. And then it ultimately doesn't feel good because as it unfolds, it's just more bad news to you. And then it really doesn't feel good when something manifests that you clearly do not want. And we are just saying, you have more control of your experience than maybe you have realized, because no one else can vibrate for you. No one else can accomplish your point of attraction. It's only you. You've got to stop being such a witness of something you don't want, because you can't let in what you do want as long as you are such a witness to what you don't want. It's just that way. Law of attraction will make anything that you focus upon true. Law of attraction will cause anything that you focus upon to be a manifestation that you and others can see. So your criteria must not be if it's true. Your criteria must be, do I prefer it? Do I want it in my experience? Do I want to be the perpetuator of that? Find something that is pleasant to think about, and then think about it long enough that some momentum becomes big enough that then the thought will begin to entice you and to call you, and so will the evidence.